Salutations everyone, this is Austin, and welcome back to another review, and it's Arifureta, and I know this is going to be a very biased review, I'm not going to lie, with certain things, but I'm just going to say, they did skip a good amount, but it could have been worse. I was expecting the worst, but nonetheless, our savior Shea, the person that's going to probably carry this anime on her back, is here. And she's the comedic relief, obviously. But anyway, so we see basically we have the recap, and the recap, honestly, I don't think it was necessary. I'm going to just get that out of the way. I think the studio doesn't know what they're doing. I'm just going to say that before, because I do have a rant video coming up at some point about Arifureta. So at some point, you expect that video. But nonetheless, I'm just going to say, going back to the recap, yep, we got through that. We see, she's running from the monsters and waiting for someone, and she's Sonic. She's Sonic. But we see that she's actually waiting for Hajime and Yu, and we see they actually make it to the surface, finally. And Yu and Hajime are trying to kind of like have their moment to themselves. The lovey-dovey stuff that we all know they have. And they didn't really, how to put it, showed as much as they should have in the... I don't really think the recap should have been there. That's my honest opinion, but continuing on, we see, Shea kind of just run to ruin the moment for them, and we see that a little information about Shea quickly, that she's a rabbit man, and that's kind of what her race is in this world, so it's good to know that right off the bat. She's kind of like a demi-human. I know it's called beastmen in this world, but I'm going to call them demi-humans for the simple fact they are demi-humans, or beastmen, whatever you prefer them. I'm not going to judge, honestly. But anyway, so we see that Yu and Hajime think that Shea is an annoying person, and they try to leave her behind. And she's like, no, please don't leave me. I wouldn't be able to leave her, I'm not going to lie. No bias here. But Shea actually misses them and completely just falls in the ground, and it just made me laugh. And Hajime... Yeah, they didn't take so. But Shea begs Hajime to help save her family, and he was brutally honest with her and said no, and she basically was crushed, and she tries to play smart, and it was hilarious. You couldn't turn down a beautiful girl like this. Yeah, keep complimenting yourself. And we see that the monster shows up again, and Hajime just, he's Hajime. And we see Shea, that's a really dangerous mob or monster. Don't be careful, yada yada, like giving him all these warnings. He just drops it like it's nothing. It shows that contrast of how long he's been in that kind of labyrinth and how much more experienced he is. And I just want to say I love her reactions. She really is the silver lining of this anime. But we see she's holding on to Hajime still, and Hajime actually hits her because she tried to wipe her face off on his coat, and, that's when she introduces herself. She is basically begging again, and Hajime, says no, and he hits her again, obviously, and she calls Yu flat, and, it doesn't go so well. You don't call her that, but we see that she was actually exiled from her home, and basically was attacked by monsters, and beastmen aren't allowed to manipulate mana, but she can, so that's kind of her difference, and she actually can see the future. She has future sight, that's her skill, and there's some that kind of was left out about with her strength. She's kind of like She-Hulk, if I had to compare her to anyone. The anime left that out, kind of little thing that I don't understand, but she actually begs, Hajime again, but Hajime refuses once again, and they are actually headed to the next dungeon. This is where kind of the deal comes, and it's surrounded by thick fog that they can't really go because this is a special fog that makes them lose their senses, and she's going to guide them to them. That's kind of the deal, and Yu freezes Shea because Shea was overly happy and tries to jump and hug her because that is Shea. She is adorable. But anyways, continuing on, we see the other beastmen, and Shea shows up with Hajime, and we see a cute little beast girl, I'm going to call her, right over there. You see actually on the screen, little girl bringing food in. We see a wyvern actually avoid the CG in this. I can't say anything about the CG just before anyone mentions it. But we see that Shea actually is basically getting in the way of Hajime trying to do his job, and he goes, "You know what you can do for me? What's that? You could be the bait. You could be the bait." And he just throws her up like nothing towards the wyvern and basically, destroys it all. It just it was so hilarious, and I love it. Obviously, he catches her, and we see that the rabbit men are really weak, and there's a certain part over here I'm going to talk at the end about Skip, but Hajime and the rabbits, rest after everything. He kind of, carries them, and they go around and asking for help and everything, and she, out of nowhere, kind of starting to discuss stuff, and before I actually continue further on this one, there's a certain part that I don't understand why it wasn't in here, but it kind of would make everything make a little more sense. That's just what I'm going to say until the end. But anyways, we see kind of Hajime talk about he wanting to go home with you and everything, and she right there decides that she's going to join, Hajime on his journey to get back home with, you. And yeah, he says no, and I just love that he has his attitude, and thank God I didn't cut that out. But we see Shea and the rabbit men beg Hajime to get them to be stronger, and training isn't going so well because they all got distracted by a flower. So you know what Hajime does? He goes to that flower that distracted them and crushes it, and he starts his boot camp that turns them into psychopaths, to say the least. But we see you and Shea are actually training together, and the whole goal is to kind of, if she can get a hit on her, she wins. And we see that she actually did, and she started to get smarter, but it wasn't enough. But she does, scratch her cheek, and you kind of just, oh, no, I regenerate. Don't worry, you didn't. And we see kind of Shea is her special. What her special is, she actually is extremely strong. As I said, like a lot of she's in here, but she is like She-Hulk. Nonetheless, as I said, if you want a comparison, and I know some of you actually read comics, so there you go. If you ever read that comic, I highly suggest. But anyway, she actually goes and begs to go with Hajime because, get this. She really wants to be with him. And here's the real kicker. She loves him. Not loves him, loves him. And just, whew, I've been waiting for this book because it's just so adorable, and that's kind of her character. And finally, we get to see this kind of comedic relief because we kind of have that in Shield Hero with, Fumi doing things and Raptali kind of chewing him out, and this is kind of a different take on it. Kind of, we had the butt of the joke kind of girl, but nonetheless, we see the Rabbitmen showing up, and yeah, the boot camp has trained them too well, and they destroyed everything because, they threatened him, well, them, and we see they actually are guided to the tree now through the fog that, blinds the senses, and Hajime sees that he needs more stuff to open this door to the labyrinth to get it, and it's something to do with regeneration, and there's 4 of this stuff that he needs, and it's like, how do I put it, Zelda. You need more stuff to go to each temple because you won't do so well, and we see that Shia's father wanted to go with Hajime, but he says no, and now we get little Shea time, and I honestly am so happy to see this because it's adorable nonetheless. But we see kind of Shea and her mother talk about Shea being a monster, and she goes, "You're not by yourself, don't worry," kind of thing. There's other people you're going to meet later on, and she kind of told them about you and Hajime, and we kind of see why this all kind of came into play, nonetheless. And it was quite a nice, different change of pace, honestly, and I didn't expect it. I really didn't, but I just love how adorable she is, and I have to say, saving the complaints actually, we'll continue on, but Shea brings up the promise that she made with you, and obviously, she goes with Hajime, and she wins with her feelings. And before I get too far into everything with my complaints about this episode, I'm just going to say straight out, I really actually enjoyed the fact that they didn't destroy Shea's character. I really did think they were going to. That was my biggest fear of this entire anime, because I'm going to be honest, I know I've said it before, she's going to carry this series on her back. She's going to be kind of the silver lining of everything, because she's such a good character that she works even with the really bad CG, and it's kind of sad that they cut out the bear men, seeing that, Hajime kicks one of them out of the door. I seriously really do not understand why that was cut. there's information, as I keep saying, that was necessary in there, but it seems this anime just wants to keep cutting out important information. So, this episode, I wouldn't say is the worst episode. I think this is kind of the focal point of it trying to improve and being better. And just amazing, honestly. How they can mess up some things but fix other things. I hope this anime improves, I really do. But anyways, guys, did you enjoy this episode? Did you get a good kick out of it? I know I did. I actually had to take a little bit to calm down because I was laughing too hard. But thank you for watching. Consider subscribing and sharing this video, and obviously commenting. I can't wait to see you guys in the next video. That's probably the High School DxD video. But anyways, guys, I'll see you. This has been Austin, and I'm signing out. Peace.